Hello, everyone. Can
Hi.
everyone hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Perfect. All right. We are expecting about 50 people, maybe a little more. So just give me some time to continue to let everyone in, and we will get started here shortly. All right, we're just waiting for a few more people. We are expecting about 50 folks. So just hold tight and we'll get started in just a few.
Hi, Teresa. This is James Woodland.
Hi, James.
I was just make sure you received my
Yep.
Okay, good.
We are good to go here.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
You guys will see it in just a second here. And everyone can see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
I had a question. I don't know if I can ask right now or later.
Absolutely, that's fine.
So I remember in the email you said something about a T-shirt. So when I signed up for it, I didn't see that option for like that part. So
That's not a problem. I can help you get your T-shirt assignment. I'll email you afterwards.
Hi, this is Betty. I didn't get that option either.
Okay, that's fine. What may have also happened too, if you have volunteered with us before, or if you signed up as a Slice of Life interest volunteer before, like, you know, many months ago, or even for some people many years ago, you may have already selected your T-shirt size then. So if you signed up this year, just like went into your account like usual and just signed up, the system may not have prompted you because they already have a T-shirt size on file for you. Either way, I'm gonna reach out to everyone that has not. I'm gonna reach out to everyone that has not have that I do not have a T-shirt size for, and I do not have a waiver for, and follow up if I need to get that from you. But that's not a problem. I can make sure that we're good to go there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started so that we can be respectful around everyone's time. Again, thank you so much for taking out the time to volunteer this year. This year especially, I feel like, you know, we don't even have to say what's going on. It's the elephant in the room. It means so much that you guys are deciding to, you know, spend some time with us. And we are doing everything in our power to make sure it's as safe as possible as far as a volunteer experience for you. I'm going to go ahead and go through the training. There are some things that have changed this year. There are actually a lot of things that have changed this year because of the pandemic. And we can do, you guys can submit questions in the chat. You can unmute yourself and ask questions, whatever whatever you're comfortable with doing. I have my eyes on the chat now. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, the day that everyone's volunteering, next Tuesday, November 24th. So make sure that you have that down on your calendar. Slice of Life is our signature Thanksgiving event. So we actually had to cancel all of our spring events this year. And Slice of Life is even more important because of that. We're so excited to have hundreds of sellers and hundreds of corporate groups still step up this year in a very major way to help us sell 9,000 pies and raise $350,000 to support our food and nutrition services. Each pie equals a day of meals for our clients, so that's over 30,000 meals for our clients. It's really, really wonderful. As a pickup site volunteer, you will be stationed at your pie pickup location to help our buyers get their pies. And you will be, again, on Tuesday, November 24th, between the hours of noon and 8 p.m. And as I said, the locations are different this year. So let's go ahead and go through what it will look like and what you should expect for the day. Many of you have served with us before as a volunteer, but just to give you an idea and a refresher, Food and Friends, we deliver medically tailored meals and groceries to neighbors in the district who are living with serious illnesses. Those serious illnesses includes HIV and AIDS, cancer, diabetes, congestive heart disease. You see all the illnesses that our clients are facing listed there. Remember that our services are 100% free of charge, delivering meals to all of DC, out to Hagerstown, Maryland, and down to Fredericksburg, Virginia. The services that we provide include our home delivered meals. So our clients have specialized meal plans, and they're sent almost in like little TV dinners, but much more healthy, tailored specifically to each nutrition need. Then we have our groceries to go program. So that's fresh food like vegetables, proteins, and things like that that we send out to our clients for people who are able to prepare a meal, or maybe some people who live a little bit further out. And then last but not least, because we believe that nutritional counseling is 100% a part of just making sure that you're living that healthy lifestyle, we provide nutritional counseling to all of our clients, in addition to workshops. They're doing some cooking classes even virtually now, making sure that we send them out educational material around how nutrition is important. So again, with having Slice of Life, it is important, with Slice of Life, it's important to, keep these services 100% free of charge. This year, we will deliver well over 1 million nutritious meals to 4,000 neighbors in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. To make this happen, we rely on about 9,000 volunteers, people like you, who work to help in our kitchen and delivery, also in our headquarters. And to meet this demand, we need to raise $10 million in 2020. And of course, that comes from private and public support, but also through the support of Slice of Life. And like I said, in past years, we've had a few other signature events to help us out. But this year, because of the pandemic and restrictions around gatherings, Slice of Life is the perfect virtual event that really is going to be helpful to supporting our work with our clients. Since the pandemic, things have 100% changed. I know everyone is probably tired of pivoting and shifting, but we're all in this together, and that is not any different at Food and Friends. In general, our kitchen and delivery operations, they just streamlined everything. One example of the many changes that they've implemented is, instead of delivering meals to our clients 2 or 3 times a week like we normally would, we have streamlined and delivering 1 time a day. One time a week. So they're not getting less food, but they're just getting much larger deliveries. That just means storage here has all been shifted, and just the way that we prep food is all different. We also had a really big, significant increase in client numbers. I mean, it's pretty obvious. This virus is affecting people who have compromised immune system in a very different way. And well before the pandemic, we were serving meals to people who are living with we were delivering food to people who had compromised immune systems. So 15 to 20%, and of course, because of that, doctors are referring more clients to us. And what we're seeing is that we are delivering about 15 to 20% more meals per month than we budgeted. We're doing all of this with less volunteers in our kitchen. I know I talked a little bit about how this work is only possible with our 9,000 volunteers. Well, that's going to be scaled down a lot this year because of the pandemic, because we need people to be able to appropriately social distance in our kitchen. So we're sending out all those extra meals without, you know, as many volunteers here to help. But the great news is we've not missed a meal. Our clients have been fed and taken care of, and we are very, we're glad that we're able to say that. And then another big thing about the pandemic in general is just everything that's changed with Slice of Life. You guys know that I've sent you information about what has changed, everything from decreasing the number of volunteers at sites that may not allow appropriate social distancing. We have implemented curbside, drive-through pickup. Also, our bakery changed this year so that we can streamline our processes a bit and not have to rely on so many people to sort the pies. So much has changed, and we are, you know, I think very well prepared to be able to have a successful Slice of Life, but also, and in turn, help our clients. Okay, so there's a lot here, so I'm going to try to breeze through this as quickly as possible. So your volunteer shift. So again, you're scheduled on November 24th, double, triple check, then check again your address of your shift. All of the shifts have changed, or many of the sites have changed this year. So if you're used to going to your usual gym or your usual Marriott, chances are that that is not your pickup site this year. So go ahead, log in, make sure you know the address of your shift and where you'll be stationed. There's some different, your shifts are all the same in this training. So like the shifts from what is it, like 11, you have a morning, afternoon, and evening shift, all of you do, but each of your sites are operating a bit differently. So I'm gonna go through, you'll hear me talk a lot about the differences between the And Pizzas and the Marriotts. First difference, And Pizza, your site is indoors. You'll notice that when we sent out those sites this year, those requests for volunteers, we only asked for 2 people. We want to make sure that people can be appropriately social distance, not only from other volunteers, but also the guests that are coming in. So And Pizza has let us know, hey, we're not going to have guests in here eating. It just does not make sense for us. It's not responsible for us, but we have room for your 2 volunteers and the pies, and for your people to come in and out and pick up their pies. So again, you'll be indoors. Be sure to bring a jacket though, in case you're next to a drafty entrance. Marriott, your station will also be indoors, but you're serving as curbside pickup. And what that means is your station, again, you'll be indoors, you'll be warm, but we are offering our customers to come into the valet or the drive-through or the curb that is in front of the Marriott and pick up their pie. So you all will sort of be rotating as runners throughout the day to go out, get the buyer name, and put pies directly in the trunk, so it's no contact, okay? Plan for transportation to and from your pickup site. Consider using street parking and metro, as the pickup sites will not validate volunteer parking. There will be no food and friend staff as the pickup site. So you're gonna serve as the experts. It's very important that you feel empowered to make decisions and are well aware of what you're supposed to be doing that day. Remember to bring your charged cell phone and make sure that it's turned on so that we can contact you if if we have any questions. Log into your volunteer hub account. Make sure that your cell phone or contact number is there, because especially this year, we're going to want to make sure that we can all contact each other appropriately and as quick as possible. There are a couple instances where some people, if you do not have a cell phone, that's not a problem. Just let me know and we'll arrange to make sure you're with other volunteers who do have a cell phone. Please arrive 15 minutes early to your shift so you can be briefed on the earlier shift's activities. This is especially important for this year, for one, because Marriott, as a curbside pickup, you're gonna have to do another thing as far as setup, more than what you were used to from last year. And with And Pizza, it's a brand new site. So again, you're the experts. We're doing our best to communicate with And Pizza and make sure that they're good to go. But just traditionally, as a new pickup site, there are sometimes some little hiccups. And if you arrive early, you can help us iron those out before buyers get there. When you arrive, you'll want to sign in by initialing next to your name on the volunteer list and fill out a Thanksgiving waiver if you have not already done so online. I'm going to try my hardest to reach out to each and every one of you so that we have 100% volunteer waivers done for Thanksgiving. So that that's one less thing that you have to worry about, one less pen and piece of paper that you have to handle. But this will be notated on the volunteer check-in if you do not have time to put in your waiver. Wear your Slice of Life t-shirt, and Marriott volunteers, you're also going to be provided with a Slice of Life orange beanie. We do not expect you to go outside, even if it is a nice fall day, without a jacket. So we've let our buyers know to look for an orange beanie, someone walking towards their car with an orange beanie. So you can, and of course, you can keep those as a token of our appreciation. Quick note here, some people have asked about using their t-shirt from last year. I mean, I can't force you to use the new t-shirt, but we do have, these t-shirts do have another sponsor on them. So we would love if you just use the t-shirt that we provide this year. For the purpose of communicating with your fellow volunteers, please remain in constant contact with the volunteers inside the facility for the entirety of the shift. We'll talk a little bit about things that you'll need to update throughout your shift. So it's very, very important to just stay in contact and be checking in with those inside facility people. Even if you are at a curbside pickup, I know there'll be sort of an impulse to just hang outside or hang by the door, but we want to make sure that you're constantly checking in with those people who are stationed inside. Last but not least on this slide, please do not leave until a volunteer in the next shift comes to relieve you. If no one shows up, give me a call, or you can call, the check-in sheet will actually have everyone's phone number. So you can give them a call, you can give me a call. We just want to make sure that the station is covered the entire time so people can pick up their pies. So when you arrive, you'll have that white box with all of your volunteer materials. It'll have a big green label on it. So it should be very, very quick to find. In the box, you should find a few materials. Some of them are the same from last year, and we're sending some additional and different things this year. Your volunteer instructions, so everything that we are going through today. Volunteer contact and sign-in list. Like I said, that's something that you'll need to initial. Volunteer waivers if necessary. A list of purchasers. You'll have an entire list of everyone who said that they're coming to your pickup site sorted by last name. An extra pies sheet. Every site will get extra pies. I'll talk to you about why. Pickup issue sheet. So just a sheet where you can write down any issues that come up. I'll explain that a little bit more. Text to give signage with updated price sheet. So this is a bit different from last year. We will not, I'm going to reiterate this so many times on this call because I want you guys to understand, we are doing everything that we can to make sure that you all are safe. We are not accepting cash or order forms this year. We don't want you touching cash. We don't want you handing people pens if you don't need to. We want it to be, and I'm even going to go through like ways in which you even hand over the pies. So it's all text to give. I'll give you signage. That signage will also have updated pie price sheets. So yeah, all donations, all pie purchases, our buyers will need to text a number in order to do that. And I'll explain that a little bit more. A labeled FedEx envelope, because we may have to send back our volunteer contact list as well as buyer list. And, I just want to, it also will help with like contact tracing should that come up. I'll send you a FedEx envelope that you can put all of your paperwork in and send it back to us. Slice of Life t-shirts, I'll send you pens to use, additional flyers for passerbys, end of the night checklist. So at the end of the night, that very last shift will have some special instructions, and that checkout list will help you with that. Missed pickup instructions. This is a bit new, and Pizza has requested this, and I think it's a wonderful idea. There'll be a stack of flyers that you can give to the hotel concierge or front desk and the person who's at Pizza, because after you leave that night, no one can come there to pick up their pie. So we'll give them an instructions list. You'll just hand it over so that they can pass it out to anyone who comes there looking for you and their pie. Talking points for Slice of Life 2020. So just some quick information about Slice of Life and Food and Friends. Hand sanitizer we're sending to everyone. Sandy wipes we're sending to everyone. We're also sending extra face masks. I can't tell you how many times I've been out during lunch and I've spilled soup or something on my face mask and panicked about it. That will not be any of your worries. Hopefully, we're going to send some extra cloth face masks for you. And then Marriott specific supplies, you're going to get, again, those orange beanies, a slice of life yard sign. So I have a little, can people see me here? This sign here. I'll explain a little bit about that. It's going to have like a metal sign as well, a metal stand, and a notepad or scrap paper. I'll explain that a little bit more too. Managing your pie pickups. So when you arrive that 11 o'clock shift, everyone really familiarize yourself with the pie flavors. Make sure that each box is each flavor of pie is easily accessible. You'll leave the pies inside the brown cases, so the pies are going to come in a white quality box, but those boxes will be inside what we call a case, which is brown. Leave them in there to ensure freshness. But again, when you arrive, make sure you know where all the pies are. Make sure you can find all the flavors. At Marriott, when you arrive, you'll find a space outside the hotel near that valet/driveway to place your yard sign. So what I'm going to do is there'll either be like a patch of grass or like somewhere else that you can put up the sign. I'm also going to reach out to the hotels know that you're coming with this sign, so they may have a plan for you to put the sign somewhere. If you can't find anywhere, no worries. Again, the buyers will just come up to valet. You'll have your orange beanie on. Everything will be fine. But I have that sign for you and plans are to put it up outside the hotel. We'll provide you with a list of pies that will be picked up at your location. So all the buyer information, complete with, going in alphabetical order by last name. The list notes the flavor and quantity of each pie that person is picking up. Each pie, remember, it's pre-ordered and prepaid. So when they come up, they'll give you your name, you'll look on your list, and you'll hand over what pies they have down. You'll want to cross off names as pies are picked up. This is very, very important for two reasons. One, at the end of the day, our end of night shifts, people are going to be calling the people who have not showed up yet. So it's very important to cross off every single name as they picked up the pie. The second reason, I mentioned this earlier, is just for contact tracing. As the pie cases are emptied, so those brown boxes that I told you about, we'll want to break them down and flatten them for disposal. There'll be someone at the hotel or the and pizza that'll let you know where to dispose the pies. We'll just break them down as you go to keep the area neat. And remind customers to properly store their pies when they get home. I believe there's storage instructions on each box. So just tell them like, hey, make sure you properly just store the pies. Information can be found online. Just remind them to do that. As I mentioned, extra pies have been provided to cover any errors or damaged pies. You'll have a sheet that has the number of pies of each flavor that are at your site. You'll want to make sure that you update this list anytime an extra pie is used. So anytime someone comes in and says, you give them an apple, they're like, actually, I meant to order a pumpkin. No big deal. You'll give them their pumpkin, scratch out how many extra you have, and update the new one. So you'll see as your day progresses, that number should change like throughout the day. It may like look a little messy, but this is the best way to keep track of extra pies that you have there. Individuals are allowed to pick up pies for a friend. All they need is the name. We don't need to see IDs or anything like that. Just say, they'll come up and say, hey, I'm picking up a pie for John Smith, and you can just happily hand their pie over. So you know that there is that chocolate pie always has a special raffle, that sea salt chocolate chess pie, which is so decadent. It's one of my favorites. When they purchase that pie, they're automatically entered into the raffle for the $500 in restaurant gift cards. There's no physical ticket. We'll let them know after Thanksgiving if they've won. Site captains. So several of people on the call, you may be serving as a site captain. You're a veteran Slice of Life distribution site partner, and we are so grateful to have you this year. Again, this year is like, there's just a lot of things that are different this year, and you guys know, like, okay, I know I'm empowered. I've done this before. I know how important it is to provide wonderful customer service to Food and Friends, so I'm going to step up as a site captain. So you're going to just help lead the volunteers during the shift. shift, make sure people have T-shirts and sign in. If there's questions, you can be the one to give me, anyone can really contact me, but if you want to be the person to contact me to ask any questions, you will be served. That's what the site captain does. If your shift does not have a site captain, that's not a problem. Not every shift has a site captain. As I said, everyone is the expert at their site. So really, site captains, they're there to help make everyone comfortable. If you do not have a site captain there, don't worry, just proceed as usual with the instructions. As I said, on-site sales this year, we want you to do that. So this is done every single year. You guys really do an amazing job with all the foot traffic that's there. I think it's going to be the same at Pizza. I think the hotels may be a bit different. We may want to look at, I know that a lot of the times buyers will purchase an additional pie if you just ask, but we want you to sell extra pies on site. You guys raised over $10,000 last year, and I know that you guys can do even more. We've provided, again, extras of every single flavor and a sheet notating how many of each flavor that you have. With each sale, that's another reason why you're going to update your extra pies sheet. So when, as I mentioned before, if you use an extra pie, if you replace a damaged pie, that's an opportunity that you have to update your extra pie sheet. And if you sell a pie, that's another time that you need to update your extra pie sheet. You do not want to sell more than what you have noted on the extra pie sheet. It's very important that we take care, we are doing our best to keep track of that, because we don't want someone to come at the end of the night and say, I need to pick up my sea salt chocolate chess pie, and you sold it. So make sure that that extra pie sheet is up to date. The prices change on site to buy pies. So as you can see, the apple, pumpkin, sweet potato, and client pies are all $30. The pecan pie is $45, and the sea salt chocolate chess pie is $45. To limit, I mentioned this before, to limit customer and volunteer contact, all sales and donations must be completed electronically through text to give. I'm not sending any paper forms, just to make sure that people know we're very serious about keeping our volunteers safe and keeping you safe. So there'll be a sign that says text 50155, text pie to 50155, and a nice form with all the different flavors, and it'll be easy for them to put in their own information. They'll get a receipt, and they'll show you that receipt. If they're planning to get a pie, they'll show you that receipt. You'll hand over their extra pie. If they are just making a donation, they'll still get a receipt that way. For tax purposes, they have that. If for some reason someone is trying to give you loose cash and they are being very persistent about it, hand them the FedEx envelope, let them put that in there. Again, we are making it very clear, and feel, again, free and empowered to say, like, oh, actually, to limit, and we'll have signs everywhere just letting people know, like, hey, all donations are text to give. But if they do give you loose cash, just have them throw it in the FedEx envelopes. I don't expect you to handle any cash. Okay. All right. Morning shift. We're going to talk a little bit about what the shifts will look like. When you arrive at 11:30, the pies in the white material box with green labels will be waiting for you. So it's a white box that has a green label that says, your materials or your volunteer materials are in here. So find that box. You'll then see a bunch of brown boxes. Those are the cases for the pie. They'll each have flavor stickers on them. The outside of the box, all sides will have a flavor that says, or a sticker that says apple or pumpkin or whatever flavor it is there. Each case has 10 pies this year. Last year was 6. So each case has 10 pies in a quality gift box, and there's a nice little sticker on top. Again, take a moment when you arrive at 11 to make sure that you actually have all your flavors. They're easily accessible. That way, if there's any issues, you can call me immediately before people start to show up at noon. Please leave all the pies in the box. Don't rip open the label. Don't, try to take a peek to see if they look nice. Leave them all in the box, and for the purpose of them being fresh. So Marriott curbside pickup. You will be working with a group of people, right? So you'll want to consider working sort of like in stations. So my suggestion would be each site has 4 people. You will want to have 2 people sort of indoors arranging the pies, manning the station, making sure that the pie pickup sheet and the extra pie sheet and all of that is up to date. So, you know, those 2 people stay inside to do that. There'll be another group. I would suggest having another group of people being your runners. So going up to the cars, asking people to roll down their windows. We're also telling buyers to, you see this little sign here, you can't tell, but their name is written on it. So asking people to write their name and put it in the window. Approaching the car, getting their name. You'll have a scrap piece of paper to write it down in case you need to. Going back inside, coming out, confirming the order with them and putting it right in the trunk. All right. Try to serve 1 car at a time. We just want to make sure that we're continuously updating that pickup sheet and keeping track of every single person that comes in and every single pie that we're giving out if we sell an extra pie. So, and as I mentioned, you'll be provided with that yard time with a metal stand and your materials. You'll find a place during the valet, near the valet loop and driveway outside of the hotel to place that sign. That's where drivers will pull up. As I said, you'll have people inside and also those runners. So just figure out who you want that to be. If you want to trade off, I think that's a good idea. Approach the vehicle, ask for the buyer name, write it down on the scrap paper note card again, and be sure to give them the opportunity for additional pie purchase. Just introduce yourself. I'm going to bring your pie out. Did you purchase any additional pies? Would you like to purchase any additional pies or make a donation? Yes or no? Go in, get their pies and bring them out. Repeat the order again. Want to make sure, since we're putting in the trunk, that they actually have the right pies. And that way it can be contacts and you'll be good to go. Pro tip: vehicles must be in park in order for the trunk to open. We troubleshot this and worked with a few of our partners who do similar curbside pickup, and that was one really funny growing pain that they got through. It was like, man, we were having trouble opening those trunks, and we found out like, oh, the car must be in park. So make sure if someone's like, I can't open my trunk, ask them if their car is in park, and they should be able to open their trunk. And pizza indoor walk-up. So again, you will be stationed inside during your shift, and piers have been instructed to come in to get their pie. No, as I said, no indoor dining will be taking place during this time. And restaurants have been, and pizza in general, they already have signs around telling people to remain 6 feet apart. We're going to provide additional signage on your table to remind people to wear masks, which they should be doing anyway, social distancing, and to speak loudly. It might seem like we all know behind those masks, it seems like you're yelling, but we just want to make sure that they're not getting too close to you or pulling their masks down. So we have signs there to tell people to, speak very loudly. When you're handing your pie over to the clients, you want to place the pie on the table. So you can kind of see this young lady here on the left. She kind of has some pies like sort of sat up there, so she can just put it right there in the middle. The customer can pick it up so that you don't have to risk like touching them or anything like that. And of course, hand sanitize and wipe down surfaces frequently. Your closing shift. So the shift at night, you'll have some special responsibilities. At 7:15, you're going to call all the customers who have not yet picked up their pie. So you can start to do that a little earlier if you want to. It depends on how many people are there, but you'll have a script and you'll give them instructions and remind them that the location closes at 8 p.m. So this is a courtesy call. Customers are responsible for picking up their own pie. We've reminded them many, many times that their pies will need to be picked up that day, and that they need to be responsible. Oh yes, and if they do not pick up their pie, there's also in the script though, it'll mention that if you do not In the script, it'll remind them that if they do not pick up their pie that Tuesday by 8 p.m., they're responsible for getting their pie on Wednesday. In that script, it'll tell them what day, so it'll be Wednesday at Food and Friends only. That pie will not be at the Pizza or the Marriott on Wednesday. They're responsible for coming to Food and Friends between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. to pick up their pie. Again, they're not going to be at Pizza, so it's their responsibility to come on over and pick up their pie the next day. So as you're getting ready to close out, you'll find that checkout list. So you'll have a list of all the things that you need to kind of be prepping and getting ready. One of which will be collecting all of the paperwork, all those sign-in sheets, the buyer list, you know, anything at all that has writing on it. You're gonna the issues sheet. You'll put all of that in the FedEx envelope and get ready to seal it and drop it in a FedEx box. At 7:30, you're going to prepare yourself for what is called a closeout text. So start to count and record how many pies in each flavor you have left. So each case has 10 pies. Hopefully you won't have like big cases of pies left, but take an inventory of how many pies of each flavor you have left at the pickup site. You'll give the front desk or cashier that stack of missed pie pickup flyers that I mentioned. So after you've left someone their courtesy call, they'll also, if they come at, you know, 8:10 and you're not there, someone at Pizza will give them those flyers that you hand over. Then you're going to the Marriott, the people who are serving at Marriott, go outside and get that curbside sign and pick it that you posted outside if you ended up picking it up. We don't want to confuse anyone that's coming the next day and thinking they can get their pie at Marriott. So just pop outside and get that curbside pickup sign and dispose of it. You can take it home if you want. You can put it with the remaining cases, the remaining flattened cases. Just make sure we take it up. And at 8 p.m., you're going to throw away any leftover materials, pens, flyers, T-shirts. You can keep them if you want, but those won't be sent back to FedEx, to Food and Friends in that FedEx envelope. That closeout text. So one volunteer is going to be responsible for contacting a Food and Friends staff representative to close out the day. You'll be assigned to someone that'll be in your checkout instructions. So don't worry about that right now. Once you arrive on the 24th and see your checkout information, you'll see that person and be able to prep and get ready for that closeout text at 8. We'll need to know your name and what site you're checking out for. We need to know how many pies you have left over. You'll also have a sheet to write that in, but our staff will still ask that. And then the pies will actually be cleared away by the staff that are there. So you don't need to do anything with the pies. You don't need to, we leave that to them as a gift. So just leave the pies there. And then when the Food and Friends staff member is also going to ask you when you plan to drop off that FedEx envelope. We do not plan for you to have cash in there. One thing I'm going to add as well is if you do have cash, just so that we will know. And then we'll confirm receipt of your text and give you any additional instructions. Remember that many people are going to be texting our representatives at once, so give us time to respond and give us time to confirm that we're ready to go. Problems and questions. As I said, you all are the experts. You are empowered to make a decision. Of course, you are the face of Food and Friends, so you want to be as pleasant and kind and wonderful to our supporters as possible. But again, you're empowered to make decisions and judgment calls. For example, I mentioned this earlier. If someone comes up and they said, I know you have apple pie, but I really want pecan pie. This is what I ordered. Tell them, you're empowered to say, okay, it's one pie. It's not a big deal. Give them their pecan pie, update your extras. We just want to make sure people are happy as possible. If there are any major problems, like if someone says, hey, I'm here to pick up 20 pies and they're not on the list, you want to call me immediately. Anything that's going to interrupt like the natural flow of the day or cause a problem for shifts later, give me a call. I'll be waiting by the phone. My colleague Lisa will be waiting by the phone, and my colleague Alexa will be in and out also. Call me or call Lisa immediately if you have any crushing questions that you really cannot you really are worried about or really want a second or third opinion on. And that is pretty much that. I think that, like I said, this year has been an incredible year of shifting and everything for all of our staff, but also it's been a really, really challenging year for our clients. I cannot imagine. I know that it's been really hard for me just being home and just having all of my plans changed, but I couldn't imagine being someone with a compromised immune system during these times when something so simple as getting groceries is just even more challenging for them. So keep them in mind as we are prepping for Slice of Life. Know that you are doing this for them. And again, we really, really, truly appreciate the support. Again, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you just, something comes up and you just want to be able to, anything at all, I'm here to help. Here is my email. You can reach me through cell or through my phone number. I'm going to send my cell phone number out too, so you guys can text me. I just want to make sure you guys are comfortable and have all of your questions asked, as much, and you're clear, and the instructions are clear as possible for you. So that is that. I'm going to turn off my screen share, and then I'm going to give people a chance to ask questions. I'm going to look in the chat here. Nancy, you said, so yes, and pizza, since the site is a bit, we just want to make sure people can appropriately social distance. So those sites only have 2 volunteers. In some cases, and what we have been, you guys have saw, like, we have suggested that people volunteer with like their family unit, or they volunteer, if they are volunteering as individuals, we let people know, like, hey, you may be there with another stranger. And if that is the case, we wanted people to be able to have as much space as possible. So and pizza, just to be extra sure, we only did 2 volunteers. That brings up another thing that I wanted to bring to the group. In the case of and pizza, there are some of you who are volunteering at your shift alone. I'm going to email you afterwards, and I'm going to let you know that that is happening. If you want to invite a buddy who is part of your COVID pod, you can feel free to do that. But we did a survey very early in the season, and they let us know, like, in a normal year, four volunteers is actually too much. Like, they don't have a lot, sometimes it's not a lot to do. And they let us know that 1 person should be fine. But I'll let you know after, like, in the next few days, like, if you're going to be by yourself, so you can make arrangements if you want to have a buddy. Also, you said no dining and pizza. Will there be pickles and pizza during the time? That's a good question. So no indoor dining. They will be doing their regular, like, curbside or like walk-up pickup. So you'll see people coming in to get their pie and leaving out, just like people are picking up our pies and leaving out. Any other questions from people here?
Tanisha, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm never sure. This is Margie.
Hi.
I'm pretty sure, that I know the answer, but I just want to reiterate for my own clarification. So let's say somebody forgot, this has happened before. Oh, I meant to pick up my pie. I forgot, I'm going on the road, but I'll get it at Food and Friends tomorrow. So you will have their pie at Food and Friends. We're not saving our leftovers to accommodate that, right? Those are the ones we give away.
100% correct. So what we have, okay, we'll have a good chunk of extra pies for people, so they can pick up their pie on Wednesday. So
that's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, and the other question is, it's more personal, so if you want to talk to me later, I happened to get on email today and see that there was a special for today for ordering a pie. Is there a way I can do that over the phone for me? Because I can't do it online.
Give me a call. Yep, give me a call after this and I can help you get your pie order.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, I have a couple questions coming through in the chat. What if someone wants to swap out a $28 pie with a pecan pie or a sea salt chocolate chess pie, which is more money? Can they use the text to give to pay the difference? Yes, they can do that. If they come in and say, hey, I bought this $28 pie, but I'd rather have a sea salt chocolate chess, they can just enter it in as like I would tell them, if I'm like just on the fly, I would tell them to just enter in the difference as a donation. You know what I mean? So just, so yeah, that works. Someone asked about 2 friends. So I just want to also mention this, like, because we are being strict around, I just want to protect you guys. I just want to make sure that you guys are safe. I just want to make sure that all of the buyers that come in are safe. We've told in Pizza and Marriott that we are doing everything to make sure that we understand who is coming in and out of their doors. If you are planning to bring a guest, please let me know, because we want to make sure that everyone is accounted for. We want to make sure that everyone has a waiver signed. We want to make sure that everyone is signed up properly. We want to make sure they have a t-shirt. We have a face mask for them. So please, 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 please let me know. In the case of the and pizzas, I'm going to be honest, like, I really would prefer for it to be 2 people, maybe 3 if you're part of, all of you are part of a family unit. So if you have signed up and you're with a buddy, like, or with a stranger, someone asked this earlier and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to put that person, I don't know if they're comfortable, you know? So, but if you have, like, let's say 2 people are signed up and you guys are in a family, you say, hey, we want to bring my you know, my uncle can come, like, that's totally fine. You guys are part of a family unit. Again, please respect the guests that are there, but any guests at all, you please, please, please let me know. The Marriott is a little bit different because you guys will have runners. So if you wanted to bring an additional person, you know, we can maybe talk about that. But regardless, if you're planning on bringing anyone, let me know so that I can take a look and make sure that there's enough space for everyone. Okay. Anyone else? Those are all really good questions, guys. Anyone else? Good. All right. So
I have a quick question.
Okay.
You
Yes.
said if you have a lot of leftover pies,
Mhm.
you just leave them for the staff at the hotel to take?
Yes, we do. One thing that you could do, and I'm really all for, as long as we leave some for the hotel, like, one of our pickup sites is Whole Foods Market. We're really excited to be working with them as a exclusive presenting sponsor. And what they're actually arranging is that their pies will all be donated to, like, a food refuse organization. So if you have an obscene amount of pies and you're like, man, I know for sure I can probably take a case or 2 and the hotel will not miss it, and there's a place where you want to drop off the pie and you've got an approval, and again, like, during these times, we want to make sure that we're being as safe as possible, I'm fine with that. All right, guys. Well, we're just at almost at 1:30, we have a little bit more, but thank you so much, Gabriella. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate your time. I cannot stress enough how insane this year has been, and you guys have really stepped up in waves, way more than I expected. And well, I won't say that. We have really wonderful volunteers at Food and Friends, so I know that this year is special and it's a little bit of a challenge, so I appreciate you guys, like, working with us and being willing to spend your day with us. And again, just know that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that you all are safe. If you have questions, concerns, do not hesitate to reach out, and I will talk with you guys all very soon. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.